Hello legends and super legends, welcome to Veloharmony. Today I was inspired to make this video because, let's just put it this way, this is day 5 of the Rafa Festive 500 Challenge of 2017, and it has been a challenge. The main reason is because we're living in new temperatures this week that we normally don't get. You can see I broke out the big board and decided to make a video to give you additional guidelines, because the videos I made last winter were great, but I wanted to make this video specific when you're dealing with really frigid temperatures. There's a guy, a user on the channel, that posted a comment when he saw the group ride that I said Frankie knows cold, and he said he laughed about it because he was contemplating whether he should go out in 25 Fahrenheit degree weather. What the challenge has been is that normally our temperature is like 45 Fahrenheit to 75 Fahrenheit this time of the year through spring, sometimes warmer. We're dealing with 2C this week, when normally we would have, let me see here. Normally we would have 4C to maybe 7C as a start. Usually 45 Fahrenheit will be the low, and then we go from there. Well, it's going to even get colder into New Year's, because we're going to go down below freezing to like -1C, -2C early in the morning. Then it will warm back up slightly. What's been happening this week that is different, I'm holding the mic because I'm going to be taking off what I have on. I just came back from the ride. What's been happening this week is that you start at 4C and then go down to 2C during the ride. So it's actually been getting colder during the ride. So we've been, instead of starting at 2C and going to 4C like normally things go up, throughout the day it's been getting colder. The cold has been coming in even more during the day. So that's what we've been dealing with. So I want to explain that when you do that, you're going to have to do some special layering, because the barometer should be from 40 Fahrenheit, which is I think 4.4 Celsius. Yeah, so you can use 4 or 5 Celsius as your guide. If it's going to stay below 5C, you really got to start layering up or wearing your heavy gloves. I wore this today. It was perfect. So this was perfect all the way down to like freezing. It's good. Around freezing, you will feel a little cool. So if it's going to be close to freezing, you may want to put liners on with these guys, with the heavy gloves. So anytime it's going to be below 4C, consider that time to really dress very warm. So for example, what I mean by that, let me put the mic down here. I'm hoping you'll still be able to pick me up. Should be as I take off. So you wake up in the morning and the temperature says it's going to be 40 Fahrenheit, which is 4C, thereabout, 4 point something, 4C, and it's not going to get any warmer than that. Or to say it's 1C and it's not going to pass 4C. That's the range I'm talking about, 40 Fahrenheit, 4C or lower. You want to make sure you have something that will cover your face like this. Then you put your glasses on. I usually put my glasses just over it. I don't put them through here, because that wind hitting your face hurts literally if you're out there for hours. That's how we've been able to survive this week, because the roads are clear. There's no snow. It's just cold. So you want to cover your face. I put that little protection, the gel that I showed, like Vaseline, on my lips, and you put this. Now when you put this here, this balaclava I will take off in a bit. It's designed to sit here, which is very good. When it gets maybe close to 4C, it's pretty good. Start going towards freezing or the wind starts blowing, you feel it. The skin starts feeling frosty, cover it up. Your breath will generate a nice warm pocket that will just make all of you feel good. And then your glasses will protect your eyes from the wind. Now, don't put it here. It's not as comfortable above your upper lip. You can probably tolerate it on your lower lip more. And the reason is, when you bring it up to your nose and it rests on top of your nose the bridge of your nose pushes the fabric away from your mouth. So you have a nice pocket where you can breathe comfortably. So you can tolerate that longer. It's those little things we've been discovering that makes a difference of how long you do this. Now, they have different things. It doesn't have to be a balaclava. You could put on a nice skull cap. And I'm getting to that. I'm going to plug, Przewalski sent this to the channel, and I told him I would do a review, so I'm just going to incorporate it in here. This is a Przewalski skull cap. I had this in my pocket because I had no idea. It was cloudy, cold, going to stay cold. I didn't know what the wind was going to be doing. This you can wear by itself, but not below 4C. You want to layer with this board. You can put this board on and then put a cycling cap over. That would work. I took this as extra precaution because of the fit of this cap. You slip that thing on, you can see how easily it goes on the balaclava, and it covers, look at my, all the way down to my eyes like that, and then it covers your ears very well. For the price point, this skull cap is excellent. I'm just going to show it briefly because I'll do a separate review for that. But I carried that extra insurance. The reason I mention that is there may be times when you have to put something else on top of your head because every person is different. Some people need more at the same temperature as the next person. So I'm going to pull off the balaclava. And I've had this for maybe 2 years. And this is the first time I've worn a balaclava down here. Period. I basically took out the tag to put this on today. That's how unusual this weather is that we're having. Now, and that kept me nice and warm, protected my neck. But if you notice, I also got a turtleneck under there. And I'll show you in a little bit. That's why I put the mic over there. Let me move this thing. Now, so I put on the long sleeve jacket. Of course, it's cold. You're not going to be shedding anything. If you only have arm warmers, they would work too. I will show you in a little bit how you do that. Because we got to make do with what you have. You don't have to go buy anything. I want to make sure nothing's in my pockets. So this is layer 3. Somebody had mentioned the last time we did a video where I rode and it was cold to start. I don't see how you could do that. 2 layers in such cold weather. Well, it was because I was wearing a particular jersey that had thermal fleece on the inside, and I wore the Santini base layer, which I'm wearing today. But the day got warmer. It didn't get colder, and it didn't stay below 4C, 4.4 very long, maybe an hour or so, maybe 2 hours at most. But the last few rides since Christmas, it's just stayed cold. So this is layer number 3. We'll lay that over here. This is layer number 2. I'm going to take off the straps of these. Layer number 2. This is Rafa's merino wool base layer, and it's basically almost like a turtleneck. Now, I use the word almost because it's just only in shape only because the material wicks. That's important. I just got back. I'm dry. I'm not cold, nothing. It wicks moisture because you do generate a lot of, perspiration, even though it's cold when you're riding. So it's important that whatever you get is designed with material that wick. They're not all created equal. Don't just go out there and get any turtleneck or any, layer. Because you want things to come from the base layer all the way through to your top layer and evaporate. Then when you stop, you're not cold. Big difference. I got this. It was on sale 2 winters ago. I got them, and this is the first time I've worn it because normally, if it's going to go above 4C, this is too hot for me. I heat up. So I rarely have worn this. This is practically brand new. So 4C is a good barometer to know you got to break it up, bring things out. So the gentleman in Philly, I think it was Philly, somewhere in Pennsylvania, that said he was laughing when I said Frankie knows cold. He was contemplating, looking for motivation to go out in 25 Fahrenheit degree weather. Yeah. This is time to break these out. Okay. Then, of course, I got my base layer. So, base layer, second layer, long sleeve jersey. If it's going to be really, really windy, you may want to consider a vest or even a jacket or one of those wind block jerseys. So you got to think about those little details because they make a difference in your comfort. Now in that weather, all I've been wearing is out of my Rafa protein tights with pad, or I've been wearing what I'm wearing today is my Rafa thermal short. That's all it is, thermal short, and I'm wearing the Przewalski leg warmers. Very nice. They sent that for me to review, and I just don't think it would do it justice to try to put it in here. I just mentioned it because it needs its own review to show you all the features. They worked out great. Below freezing, I wouldn't be wearing any kind of leg warmer only. I would either gravitate to tights, or I would wear leg warmer and then maybe put on something. Some people have tights without pads. You could do that, because when it's going to stay around freezing for a long time, you gotta get warm, and then cover your shoes. I wore the same high visibility shoe covers and just slipped it over my shoes. That was all, because it wasn't forecasted to rain, so I was fine. So for the hands now, don't disregard. This is like the most important area, because your hands are numb. The whole ride is miserable. Because it was going to be, let me put this on here. Because it was going to be cold and staying cold, we had 3 days of similar weather. Some with rain, some without. And I was tired of just being close, but not on target. Because one of the rainy rides, I had the Rafa neoprene gloves. It's great, kept my hand fine. But once the temperature started dipping, my hands got cold. And then I wore the Endura gloves. They were pretty good. But when the temperature started dipping below 35 Fahrenheit, around 2C with the wind, probably felt like, right at freezing, my hands were cold. So I said, today I'm not having any cold hands. So all I did was I broke out these guys, because I knew we're going to be at about 3C or higher. Which means stay between 3 to 4C. I don't think we even hit 5C. And these were fine. My hands were cool. They were comfortable. They were not toasty. So they were good. So the biggest thing to splice is from 4C to 0, which is like 40 to freezing to 32. You need to really start doubling up on your layering. Protect your fingers with your liners and then put on your gloves. And then protect your shoes, of course, by covering up your feet so they can stay warm. And then make sure your head and neck area. When I pulled that balaclava up here over my nose and my shades were there, I was so comfortable. You couldn't feel anything. It was great. Just one little piece of fabric and sealing this area, this neck area, however you want to do it, whether you use a winter collar or whether you use the balaclava. I am very cautious with balaclavas, because if the weather's going to go up, I tend to run hot. So once it starts warming up, there's a tendency for me to not need it at all. Then you got to take off the helmet, take it off. Then you might get too cold. So that's why I slipped in the Przewalski skull cap in my jersey's pocket, just in case the weather would have changed. Those are those little things. It didn't take up that much room. It was a small thing like a handkerchief. So I think I covered all of it. The biggest thing is that if you protect your hands and your feet, your head, ears, and neck area, your torso kind of takes care of itself, because then you can ride. That's very important. So for cold weather riding below 40 Fahrenheit or 4C, don't neglect the facial area, because that wind will just make you feel miserable out there. You protect this area. That's critical. Face, neck, hands, feet. That's it. Because once it starts to rise to where it's above 4C, then you really don't need to have your face covered. That's what I found. And of course, it depends on the wind, the conditions of the wind and so forth. But I wanted to put this out for those of you who may be concerned and want to get out. The roads are clear. It's just frigid cold. Get out there. And another thing you want to do is when you're going on very cold rides, please take an extra tube, because like today, at the end of my ride, something sliced my new tire. I had just put on less than a week, put it on the bike. And my gator skin is shot because it got cut on the sidewall. So there was a slow leak. So I just stood up and rode home. I was less than 3 miles from home. And because on the end of the ride, I hate changing tires, flats in the cold. And I definitely don't want to patch anything. That's why I carry an extra tube when it's cold. So I wanted to share that. I hope this will be helpful. But don't let cold weather keep you from getting out there. Just get the right gear. It's out there. It's made. There's people that do all kinds of stuff, running, skiing, whatever, and then cycling now. So the gear's out there. Get what you need. Get out there. Get your K's in. Don't let anything stop you.